What's up, YouTube? I am not even going. Hey, we're going to do the video, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to play the song, I Had a Dream. Dude, Diddy smacked with a major lawsuit. Diddy is smacked with another major lawsuit, and I've had enough now. I'm done. Hey, this is coming off of Murad's YouTube channel. Man, Murad be getting he be getting this information quick, fast, and
so
in a
Diddy
hurry.
is facing.
Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
So Diddy is facing a pretty big lawsuit with different studios apparently also involved as well. This has just dropped, and also there is a lawsuit that's just been filed in California against Roblox in regards to Diddy and Epstein. So some very interesting stuff going on. Hey guys, it's Murad, daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video, guys, where Sean Diddy Combs' Wynn Resorts and others have been officially sued in the Central District of California by Michael Ejawoko, a commercial worker, and he is suing for violation, for civil conspiracy, and for the fact that he was basically claiming that he was trafficked between places. So, you know, very interesting that these lawsuits are still going on. In and around 2018, the worker met Diddy. Mr. Combs hired plaintiff, who at all relevant times was a worker. Plaintiff was led to believe that he was engaged in consensual stuff with Cassie and unaware that these women had been coerced. These services included but were not limited to oral and physical. Plaintiff provided these services twice. Diddy orchestrated and observed the encounters, never participating in the encounters himself, similar to Kanye, but deriving gratification from directing and watching. Diddy insisted that the plaintiff used body oil that Diddy personally supplied. Plaintiff is informed and believes that the oil was laced with GHB. I'm just so confused by the fact that none of this came into the trial, by the way. Diddy insisted to use that oil continuously, and for the fact that it was laced, what he believes. Plaintiff never consented to being drugged, but he was. These events also occurred in hotels owned and operated by the hotel defendants, the Palazzo Casino Hotel and Wynn Casino Hotel in Las Vegas, and the London Hotel in LA. It's always these same hotels. Like the London Hotel was propped up so many times, I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy was secretly working with these hotels. Hotel staff knowingly facilitated Diddy's illicit activities, boom, reserving her rooms under aliases, under the name Mr. Star to shield his identity, granting access to private or secured areas to Diddy and his John Doe associates, escorting plaintiffs into different rooms, cleaning and removing, particular substances, including oils and substances of drug-related items, and failing to report. On information and belief, hotel staff accepted directions from Diddy to prep these rooms. Plaintiff is informed and believes that in at least one instance, Diddy paid $100,000 cash to hotel staff, not a defendant in this action, to suppress footage. So again, he's co-signing what Cassie's been saying, and defendants in each one of them filmed these encounters without plaintiff's knowledge. After Cassie and Jane Doe testified in Diddy's criminal trial, plaintiff came to understand the coercive nature of the scheme and has since suffered profound humiliation, emotional trauma, and psychological distress. So, this is a very interesting lawsuit, because what this person is basically stating is that after watching the criminal trial, he's lost even more hope. He is being affected with severe, significant psychological trauma based on looking at the verdict, looking at those who celebrate the verdict, and for the fact that everything just went downhill for these people. I mean, Cassie was on the stand. She was pregnant. She was crying. And even the video of her getting beaten up, there are still people, guys, who are not believing Cassie and think that she was part of it, and that, she basically tried to end Diddy for some kind of revenge. They don't care about these victims or these alleged victims. They don't look for them or look at their stories. People just don't care. People just want to look for clickbait, grabby titles, and side with abusers and side with their stories. Pathetic journalism. It's just so terrible and sad to see now more than ever, to be honest with you. Now more than ever. This is interesting because this lawsuit is saying that, again, a man has come forward, like I've been saying, but that these hotels are in partnership with Diddy. They worked with them to carry all of this out. Why was all of this missed in these trials? Also, the fact that this oil, once again, somebody else is saying that it was laced with drugs. It was laced with GHB. Once again, this has now come up. So for a lot of people who thought that this was a myth because it was never brought up in the criminal trial, well, clearly we have another civil lawsuit where another man is coming forward, multiple, stating that oil was used. So this is, a very shocking lawsuit. We have a new law firm in the mix. Salazar Evans, I believe, is the law firm's name. It is just disgusting that what this man is claiming. Once again, he was told to do things with Cassie and etc. The specific man who came forward, who testified in the criminal trial, he said that he was just following orders. It didn't look like anything bad was going on. So to me, I'm just like, the placement of him is very interesting to me, because multiple other workers are coming out in other civil lawsuits saying the exact opposite to what you said, Mr. Punisher, when you testified. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Why is all of this information happening in civil lawsuits and not criminal? Number one. Number two, why are multiple men saying this? All of it corroborating Cassie's story, and all of them are saying the same experience. They all can't be lying. He also is demanding a jury trial, guys, so we'll see what happens. I doubt he's going to get that, to be honest with you. But this is a new law firm. It's not Busby who's coming forward to discuss this. But Lord have mercy, man. What this man is describing, how the hotel helped Diddy, the hotel staff helped Diddy, probably because they were being paid, behind the scenes. Like, you're still going to have these lawsuits be coming out, guys. Christina Coram, Auntie Christina was just hiring lawyers, like 2 to 3 lawyers. She just added to the roster for some civil lawsuits. None of these have been settled, and more are coming. And this is just so deep-seated because it reaffirms the baby oil GHB connection. And it also introduces the idea that these hotels actually are working with Diddy. He's not doing this on his own. He's not just doing this with Auntie Christina. There are multiple other people. Now, a lawsuit has come forth via against Roblox, because the game basically was mentioned in the 2024 report, and are now part of a new lawsuit in which a 11-year-old girl, guys, was allegedly groomed and essayed after meeting a stranger on Roblox through her on these Diddy freakoff themed games.
Dang, they're making games? Wow. A game? That's crazy. How can you turn this into a game?
I don't even want to start crying, guys.
A game.
An 11-year-old girl. This is why I've been discussing this P. Diddy stuff. Do you understand? This is why I've been discussing this P. Diddy stuff. This is why I've been discussing Russell Brand, Philip Schofield, all of these people. Because at the end of the day, the important message about all of this is protect the children. Do you understand? Protect the young children who basically are being caught up in rings. There was a report I read a couple of weeks ago about how people are accessing young minors through game consoles. And this is why a lawsuit has come against Roblox, where, as you can see, you have all of these Diddy Party games that are being created. And these minors are entering these games and talking to grown people, contacting them, meeting them. And then this is what basically happened. Now more than ever, there's less restrictions for children. They're everywhere online. They have access everywhere. They can meet people very easily on the download. They can skip school, easily trick their parents and meet these people, and then end up in a very trickery place of life. And it must be so difficult to be a parent in today's age more than ever, because you must put them on parental lock on everything, whether it's online or even offline. No sleepovers, no nothing. Do you understand? Had I been protected, then I wouldn't have gone down the aisle of being unfortunately sex trafficked myself as somebody who was around 15, 16, and then ending up into the pipeline of forms of work that grown men would make one do because they know that you are in a position of survival and homelessness. And then outside of that, you then end up into this work, and you end up into this work because you're overtly sexualized from the fact that you weren't protected when you were young because you were essayed. It also then directly breaks down your brain neurons, and it breaks down any boundaries you have in the room when you are with these people, making it even more harder for you to stay away and for you to not say no to what these people are telling you to do, because all you know from your perception of any kind of intimacy is you being SA. That's what you believe it to be. So therefore you conform, and it's harder for you to do otherwise because your brain is telling you to do so, because your brain has been rewired. The neurons in your brain have been rewired based on the SA trauma that you have gone through. Yeah. I have been somebody who has been sex trafficked, and I was lucky enough to get out of it on my own. A lot of these young minors get lost, end up being addicted to drugs, substances, crack, whatever you want to call it, who end up being in that line and then pass away when they're young because they end up in scenarios like this because they're not protected. I wish I was protected more so, but unfortunately I wasn't. And being significantly SA'd overtly sexualizes you to the point where you end up in this kind of work because you're looking for some fast money to get out of, certain situations, and you end up in even more dangerous positions in life because then you have these grown men like me telling me to do things, and if I didn't, they would either lock doors, beat me up in these hotel rooms. And I wouldn't be surprised if these same hotels in London where I was doing this stuff for men, I wouldn't be surprised if these same men were using other young people, and if they were working with these hotels as well. Like, this conversation is so deep, guys. It's really so deep that people don't understand the vernacular of this, the depth of this. They don't. People just don't get it. And even if they do, even if they want to, some people just don't care. And it's easier to victim blame in these scenarios and conversations. And then outside of that, personally, you have to break down the difference between SA'd and also taking responsibility for your actions when you're older, even if your brain neurons have been impacted by significant SA. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take responsibility for your actions, you just don't grow. You have to take responsibility for your actions. You can't play or be the victim 24/7 in life. You just simply cannot. And doing something like that, it's so difficult to do because internally you feel like you're victim blaming yourself. Basically, you end up in this huge warfare in your brain, all because you weren't protected when you were a minor. These young boys and girls are not being protected. This lawsuit really has triggered me and hit me because there are so many young boys and girls who are currently being caught up in these rings, on these game consoles. They've got every single gadget in the book, and it's just simply pure turmoil. And then you end up in a position like me where then you end up being SA'd by people. You're not protected. You're then being silenced because you don't know how to even talk about it because you're so young. And then you want to stop the SA, so you end up wanting to get fast money, and it's easier for you to go into S work because you've basically been SA'd and your brain is telling you that this is basically what you need to do because you've been SA'd and overtly sexualized. Then you end up in that world, and then you end up even more in a worse position despite getting fast money because these grown men are telling you to do things, and then you're getting beaten up by these men, drugged up, given stuff left and right, hotel doors locked, and you end up in a cycle. And then these men are telling you to go meet other men, and if I don't meet these men, then basically they're gonna either expose me or beat me up, and you end up realizing that you're basically being sex trafficked just like that. And it's so frustrating because especially when you're speaking about it as a man, as a masculine man, or as a man of color, you are immediately just ignored, adultified, and just simply ignored, and you're playing the victim game. And it's like, no, let's have a conversation. Do you really want to go there? No, you don't. And the fact that people don't want to go there pisses me off because I don't even care if people like me or dislike me based on recent years. I don't give a damn. But you should be caring to protect your own children, for goodness sake, because at the end of the day, all of this is about protecting the young children, safeguarding them, putting them in scenarios. In this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if charities out there are pretending to safeguard children, but really and truly they're not. Because we know when we discuss people like Diddy and Epstein, they were using modeling agencies, scouting them when they were young. I wouldn't be surprised if they were passing them on through charities. I wouldn't be surprised, guys. I really wouldn't be surprised. It's just really insane. The games were mentioned in a 2024 report and are now part of a new lawsuit in which a 11-year-old was allegedly groomed and essayed after meeting a stranger on Roblox through the Diddy freakoff themed games. Protect the young, protect your children, get them off these games. They shouldn't be allowed to be there unless they have parental adult supervision alongside them. Because if you are not restrictive on them and they end up in these unfortunate positions, they end up going through a long trail in a difficult life that will also make your life difficult as well as a parent. I've said before that one day I will speak in depth about my own story, about what I've been through, about how I was trafficked in the sex work and etc. But for me, I will talk about it when I get there. And really and truly, I'm just not there because it is still such a difficult conversation to have. But every time I read these lawsuits, it does trigger. And this is the passion. This is where the passion comes from, to discuss all of this Diddy stuff. And this when you're talking about Epstein and these lawsuits and etc., and me going to the courtroom and waiting for somebody to be convicted after all the abuse that they've done, is because you're basically fighting for your inner child within yourself who's been violated so much, and then you end up doing things that you shouldn't be doing and taking responsibility for, and you just end up in a horrific predicament, and you have to pull yourself out of it. And I know so many people who have not pulled themselves out of it. They end up going down these tricky roads. They end up homeless. That's why when you see these people who are homeless on the streets, homeless on, they crackheads or whatever, they weren't born like that. They didn't just arrive out the womb like that. They've been through things in life that have absolutely messed them up, and they weren't able to recover. majority of people who've been through similar instances to me don't recover. They don't come back. And so this is not a victim blaming game. Look at me, I'm a victim. Let's get the guitar out. Let's have a conversation. But do people want to have that conversation? No, they don't, guys. They just really don't. Unfortunately, they don't. Like, they just don't want to go there. They don't understand it. So at the end of the day, all you can really say is that the main message people should just take from anything that you're viewing, when especially me discussing this, is the moral always is protect the young children. I didn't even mean to go off on this tangent and talk about stuff like this, but it's just been on my mind. And it hit me with this lawsuit that I've just read. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Roblox, was part of this, and in some kind of sick way. Like, you just can't be surprised. You shouldn't be naive about anything in these industries. You should always have a second think about stuff like this, because it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane. I went off on a tangent. I do apologize. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. This is a very long video. It was not meant to be. But yeah, Diddy is facing Roblox is a separate lawsuit, but Diddy is facing a significant lawsuit from a brand new law firm from, once again, another man who's come forward, another male worker. So my question is, why weren't these male workers testifying? Why was it just one male worker that basically said that everything seemed, cool? This is why I'm so confused, because everything that's coming out in these civil lawsuits, these people can't be lying, because multiple of them are coming out. Multiple of them are coming forward. So in what way are all of these people lying, yet none of these people were asked to be in the criminal trial? The prosecution had way too much burden of proof that they needed to prove. They stacked it up way too much. The first couple of weeks, the prosecution were doing great. They were. But then I feel like it caught up with them, especially when it came to Jane. She just convoluted so much. And I think that she was just the wrong person to bring forward when there are so many people who've gone through so many of these lawsuits that could have testified. Yes, a testimony needs proof. Otherwise, a testimony can be hard to take on. But at the same time, these testimonies, I felt like, would have been more important than bringing somebody like Punisher, i.e. example. But then again, would it have mattered, considering the fact that, this whole situation was just misogynistic and the majority of the jurors were men anyways? Let me know your thoughts, guys, when it comes to this. Subscribe if you guys wish to. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe, guys. That's all you guys have to do. Is Murad Nation, become a Marauder, subscribe to the channel. I read all your comments. Send it.
Man, this is, oh my goodness. I don't understand this, but he was right, man. Give him a thumbs up. It's about saving the children, man, and helping people. I can't believe one of my songs. I can't believe that so many men or so many people have civil cases, and why didn't they testify to help with this main case? I don't understand that part. So you can't look for Uncle Mike for some answers on that one right there. But hey, shout out to all my enders. Y'all in the comment. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this song, man, if you made it this far. You know what I'm saying? So, if you like the song, if you like it, let me know.
Hey, 1, 2. It was all a dream. This one goes out to everybody who suffered and made it through. It was all a dream. Whoa. I had a dream, Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG. But I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal. And you got heaven, but act like hell's real. Yeah, I had a dream. Courtroom full of tears. The verdict came down and the man got cleared. All the headlines faded like they never cared. And all them folks that spoke up, they disappeared. But still, private accounts, deleted posts. Even bloggers went ghost like they seen a ghost. But not me, I stood up, heart full of fear. I told them face to face, you can't lie here. That girl was crying, we all seen the tape. And you apologized like that would fix the hate. You had it all, jets, fame, God's grace, but you played it like a game and spit in his face. I had a dream, Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG. But I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal. And you got heaven, but act like hell's real.
Yeah, you got daughters, you got sons. What they gonna say when they learn what you did? Will they look away? We pray for baby love, but what about the rest? All this dirt, you left it on your family chest. You claimed you adopt her, gave the girl a home, but where she at now? Man, she all alone. Meanwhile, rumors fly and bodies burn and cars blow up while the world just turn. Pac and Biggie, the streets still blame. You say you innocent, but you carry that flame. And what the court say? You're good, you're clear. We the court of the people and we all right here.
I had a dream, Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG. But I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal. And you got heaven, but act like hell's real.
Y'all let me know in the comments if you're an ender. Let me know if you like the song. Let me know if you don't like the song. Let me know, man. I appreciate it, man. The album is coming out August the 1st. We're going to be dropping a lot of links and different things so you guys can pick up the whole album. I got 3 songs about Diddy. I got one of them about Diddy's kids. I got 2 songs about Uncle Mike. I got a song about me going to the Philippines to see my boo-boo. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things on there. So I worked hard on it and everything, and I'm thinking that I'm giving back to you guys. Also got a hater song on there, and I'm letting the haters know that I didn't buy all this equipment just to be surrounded by equipment. I bought what was needed, and I built this recording studio. So with that being said, Uncle Mike gonna get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.